If you are a beginner artist that wants to learn how to draw literally anything, then you've come to the right place. In the next 14 drawing exercises, we're going to learn how to manipulate one of the most important forms. And then we're going to solidify our learning by drawing a couple of cute characters because, let's have some fun with it. Once you understand these concepts, you can look at any complex subject matter and break it down into its simplified forms, and that will make it way easier to draw. So let's jump into the exercises. For exercise number 1, we're drawing basic cylinders. The main challenge here is just drawing the ellipse. If you're not comfortable with ellipses at this point, I would recommend you go back and practice those separately, because ultimately this drawing exercise should be fairly easy. Once you're comfortable drawing that top of that cylinder, right, that opening, not the opening, but the circle on top, then this should be fairly easy because ultimately you're just extending those lines down and drawing that curve at the bottom. If you need to go back and practice ellipses, feel free to do that. Remember that these are building blocks. So being good at one skill will make it easier to learn the next skill. If any of these exercises feels overwhelming, make sure to go back to the previous one and make sure that you develop your understanding a little bit so that it should feel quite natural to build on top of it. You shouldn't have to spend tons and tons of time on any one of these drawing exercises. They should build on top of each other fairly naturally. So go back to drawing ellipses if that's the stage that you're at, and then apply it to these basic cylinders. For exercise number 2, we're drawing transparent cylinders. So now we're drawing the top ellipse and also the bottom ellipse so that we're drawing through the form. This helps us develop our understanding of the inside of the form, which is especially helpful when you're trying to construct things and put pieces together, which is something that we'll be doing later in later exercises. So practice your transparent cylinders until that feels natural. One thing to keep in mind is that the section that's moving away from you, that ellipse at the bottom of the cylinder, tends to be more open than the ellipse at the top. So just keep that in mind. I know that might not make a lot of sense right now, but as you copy from examples and as you draw more cylinders, what you will notice is that as cylinders move away in space, they tend to open up a little bit. Not something that you need to think about a ton right now. That'll make more sense in the future, but just draw some transparent cylinders, get those ellipses down, and then move on to the next exercise. For this next exercise, we're drawing bent cylinders. So we just take our basic cylinder shape and then we're bending it a little bit. You can think of these as almost like bendy straws. That's how I like to think about it, like the bend section of a bendy straw, or you can think of it as pipes. Whatever works for you, just create a mental model of what this looks like to you. For the first set of these cylinders, only have one ellipse showing. And then for the second set, bend it so that you can see both of them. And that makes it a little bit more interesting. You really play around with this. Get comfortable with these bent cylinders because they are very, very helpful. You can imagine how these will become useful for like drawing figures, for example. You can imagine like the arm where it bends, or like the legs, the knees where it bends. It's kind of similar to that. So you can start to see how manipulating these basic forms can become so powerful in drawing literally everything, right? So even at this stage, you're starting to develop your understanding of how you can manipulate these in space in a way that can be useful to draw everything. So make sure you get comfortable with this, practice a bunch in your sketchbook before moving on to the next exercise. To solidify our learning, let's draw this cylinder buddy, which is made up of this bent cylinder as the main portion of the body, and then you have these cute limbs coming off it, and then a face on the opening section. I found that using a playful approach to these drawing exercises makes it so much easier to really understand these concepts, because the more fun that you have, the more attention you'll pay to each exercise. So let's make sure that we take this time to play around, have fun with it. Let's not forget why we're learning these skills. The whole point of learning drawing skills is to express ourselves and actually have fun with drawing. So don't get stuck in just doing drawing exercises that aren't fun. Find ways to enjoy them, and that's what we're doing here. Draw a bunch of these, come up with your own, and play with those proportions. These are just bent cylinders, so you can bend them in different ways. You can also invent your own cylinder buddies that look a little bit different. Have fun with it, play with it, and then move on to the next exercise. For exercise number 5, we're drawing curved cylinders. We're just taking our cylinder shape and then slightly curving it, right? So like very subtle curve here. And then we're also drawing those contour lines. So that we're practicing the outside of the form, really defining the outside. Drawing contour lines can be quite challenging, especially if you're a beginner artist, but it's a very useful skill to develop because it gives us a topographical map of what these forms actually look like, and that helps us develop our understanding of creating the illusion of space on the page. So draw these curved cylinders, very slight curve, and then also draw those contour lines before moving on to the next lesson. I know those curves can be a little bit challenging if you're new to drawing, but take your time with it, try to enjoy it, try to have fun with it. Feel free to add facial expressions to these cylinders if that makes it more fun for you. Sit with this, develop your understanding, and then move on to the next lesson. For exercise number 6, let's take it a step further and really start curving these cylinders, right? So now we're extending these cylinders, having a lot of fun with it, playing around on the page a little bit. These are quite a bit more challenging than the last one, but they're also a lot more fun because you can start to see how you can manipulate this form and really play around with the space, really using the space. We're starting to really create an illusion of 3D space on the page. So start pushing it a little bit further. Make sure to draw those contour lines. Have fun with it. Really try to enjoy the experience of like creating space on the page. It's magic. Like truly it's magic. This illusion of space on the page is magic. And I do think that if you lean into how magical that actually is, the more enjoyment you'll find in doing these exercises. I keep trying to remind myself of that like being able to draw a couple of lines on a page and make it feel like it has dimension to it is magical. So don't forget that as you go through these exercises. That is the skill that you're developing, and remembering that it's magic makes it a little bit more exciting. Like, so it'll add to your curiosity for it, right? So like that is something that I try to remind myself of every time that I feel like these exercises get kind of boring. I just remind myself, I'm practicing magic here. Being able to draw is a magical skill. It's definitely worth the time to learn it. So when you do these exercises, remind yourself of that. Like you're practicing magic. It shouldn't be easy, right? Like if you're struggling with it, reminding yourself that you're practicing magic makes it worth it to struggle through a couple of these exercises. So keep that in mind as you go through this and really play around with the page. Make sure that you like fill out sketchbook pages with these different curves. You can discover so much about drawing through this exercise. So have fun with it and then move on to the next exercise. For exercise number 7, let's draw some cylinder trains. So what we're doing is we're taking cylinders, small cylinders, and we're putting them in a train formation. That's the way I like to think of them. They're like following each other in like some sense. So like draw these cylinders sharing space together. So we're trying to develop spatial awareness. How do you draw these close together, but still make them feel like they're not overlapping completely, but also pay attention to those overlapping lines. How do you create this sense of space on the page? That illusion, it can be a little bit tricky, like those overlapping lines, especially if you're a beginner artist. That is a concept that you're going to have to like grapple with a little bit, just like which lines go over top of which lines. One way that you can do this is you can draw this in pencils, where you draw the entire cylinders first and then erase away the parts that get overlapped. It's also a lot easier if you draw the cylinder that's on top first, right? So the one that is covering the other ones, draw that one first and then draw the other ones behind it second. I've always found that to be a little bit easier. So try that out, play around with this, see how many of these cylinders you can draw in a train formation, play around with it, have fun with it, and then move on to the next exercise. In this next exercise, we're taking our bent cylinders and bending them a couple of more times just to have fun with it. So we're doing like a couple of triple bends here, playing around with those sharper bends. So we did some of like those curvy bends earlier. Now let's like play around with those sharp bends again. And then let's combine that with our cylinder train. So you have a couple of cylinders that are on their own and combining that with some of those bent cylinders, really playing around with the space. Go into your sketchbook, play around with it, have fun with it. The more fun you have with this, the more you explore this concept, the easier will be to draw literally everything. So get comfortable with this concept, play around with it, develop your intuitive sense of how to use these forms, really bend them and warp them. Don't worry too much about like getting proportions right. Really try to play with it and just develop your sense of intuition around this concept. The more you play with it, the easier it will become. In exercise number 9, we're drawing squished cylinders. So now we're bending the cylinders and putting pressure on top of it. You can imagine that if there was weight on top of that cylinder, it would like start to protrude out on the sides. So that's what we're playing with here. We're also bending them and squishing them in interesting ways. So what we're trying to capture here is like that organic overlap. These almost look like skin folds or clothing folds. Like if you took a blanket and folded it, you can imagine those folds occurring naturally. That's kind of what we're playing with here on this cylinder. So work with that, play around with that. This is a very useful skill if you're trying to draw things that are organic. Like if you are interested in learning how to draw figures, the midsection of the body, right? Like the stomach section kind of looks like this, looks kind of like a squished cylinder. So play around with that. It's also helpful for like drawing literally everything, just like those folds, those overlapping folds. Very useful skill to learn. So take your time with this. This isn't super easy to get used to, especially if you're a beginner artist. Like if you haven't drawn a lot of organic lines and a lot of curvy lines, this can be a little bit challenging. So take your time with it. Give yourself breathing room. Expect to make mistakes. Making mistakes is part of the learning process. So every time you make a mistake, take that as a sign that you're practicing something new. It doesn't mean that you're a bad artist. It doesn't say anything about your skill level or talent. It just means that there's an area here that you need to work on. It's just a gift, right? It's a gift knowing where you need to work on. What you need to work on is always a gift. So try to make sure that you reframe every mistake as a gift, as an opportunity to learn and grow. It's part of the learning process. It will continue to be part of the learning process. If you are a beginner artist and you want to become a great artist one day, making mistakes is the one thing that you're going to be guaranteed, right? You're going to be making mistakes the entire way through. And the more excitement that you can feel every time you make a mistake, the more energized you will feel to take on new challenges, and you will grow a lot faster. So keep that in mind as you go through these exercises. Try to have fun with the mistakes that you make because they are useful. They are useful indications of where you need to practice, and that is always a gift. In exercise number 10, we're practicing branching cylinders. So what we're doing here is we're taking one bendy cylinder and adding small cylinders to the side, so it looks almost like branches coming off a tree. This can be quite challenging, especially if you're not used to like that spatial awareness, because now we're trying to work on the attachment of two forms. That can be a little bit tricky. So give yourself plenty of space, give yourself plenty of time. One trick that you can use is that you can draw your main cylinder first, then draw the ellipse where it attaches onto that main cylinder, and then extend out from there. That is what we're working on. We're working on trying to create one form that feels cohesive, like feels like the things, the branches are attached to it. So make sure to give yourself plenty of space. That is not an easy skill to learn, but it's a very useful skill to learn. So if you can look at this, if you look at these examples, you can imagine how that you can actually draw lots of characters, like the limbs of characters coming off the body. It's very similar to attaching these branching cylinders, right? The same concept. A lot of the overlap, a lot of those like basic forms are going to be very, very useful. So take time with this. I know this isn't super easy, especially if you're new to this idea of attaching multiple forms together. So give yourself plenty of space, try to have fun with it because it is fun. Like if you really pay close attention to it, the more curiosity that you can develop for this idea, the more fun it will become. So try to really invest your time and energy into it because it will become more fun the more you practice it. So sit with that for a while, get comfortable with it, and then let's apply that to some fun things later on. For exercise number 11, we're taking our learnings of drawing cylinders and applying it to a wood log. Because drawing a wood log is essentially just squishing a bunch of cylinders together to create like this organic shape and then extending it down. That's pretty much all there is, right? Like it's not too complicated, but it will take some practice, but we already have our ability to draw in 3D space. So let's just apply that to a wood log. So what you want to do is you want to define the top of that wood log first. That top section is basically just an organic shape that is like multiple cylinders together, a lot of curving lines. Then you want to extend it down and copy that same shape below, exactly what we did with cylinder, right? Then ellipse at the top, extend it down, another ellipse at the bottom. It's the same thing, except we're changing that top shape. And then you have the overall wood log shape. Then we want to draw those concentric lines inside of that wood log, like those edge lines, which is basically the same thing as concentric circles for a cylinder, where those lines just aren't touching each other. So they're just like copying each other's shape while not touching each other. And then you want to draw those lines going down the wood log that represent the texture of the bark, which you can play around with, right? So like those lines are quite organic looking. So make them a little bit wobbly. Don't make them too straight. Play around with it. Look up wood texture online if you want to, and just like play around with this. You can have so much fun drawing wood logs, and you already have a lot of the skills necessary to pull this off. Once you're able to draw like curving cylinders and cylinder trains, it's a lot of the same ideas in terms of like drawing things in space. Drawing that top organic shape can be a little bit challenging at first, but the more you practice, the easier it becomes. So really building a stack of skills that makes drawing everything easier, right? So you can see how learning how to draw the cylinder, being able to manipulate it, makes it so easy to actually draw these tree trunks. It might have been hard before, but now that you've developed this skill, it becomes a lot easier. So take your time with this. Play around with it, have fun, like try to have as much fun with it as possible. Feel free to add some mushrooms and other things and other details onto your tree trunk if you want to, and then move on to the next exercise. So we're going to take this one step further. For drawing exercise number 12, let's take the wood log and take it one step further. So in this exercise, I want you to draw a main cylinder that represents the trunk, and then I want you to draw cylinders coming off the base of it, moving away from that base, away from that tree trunk. These will become the roots of our tree trunk. So let's just practice that skill in terms of cylinders first, because that will make it a lot easier. I want you to play with that space. Now, the main challenge of this exercise is making sure that those cylinders that you're attaching to the side of the base actually feel like they're attaching to the base, right? Making sure that you have enough spatial awareness where the insertion of those roots actually makes sense on the page. That can be a little bit tricky, especially as a beginner artist. If that is super hard and it is way too challenging, make sure to go back to the branching cylinders exercise and practice that some more before coming to this one, because this one can be quite tricky if you're not used to that. So copy from examples and just play with that idea until you're comfortable with it, and then we'll be able to apply this idea to actual tree trunks here in a second. Once we're comfortable with the cylinders in exercise number 12, now we can actually apply it to some wood logs with roots coming off the sides. So you have your wood trunk, the main trunk, you just draw that like we did in exercise number 11. And then you just want to draw those roots coming off it, right? So we're turning those side cylinders into like wavy forms, right? So make them more bendy, make them a little bit more curvy, make them look a little bit more organic, and play around with it, have tons of fun with it. You already have all the necessary skills to really do this, and you can have so much fun with this on the page. Remember, you're creating magic on the page. You're drawing something that's 3D on a flat surface. So keep reminding yourself of that because that's a magical skill. It is so much fun to be had here, especially with roots. I love drawing roots, like drawing any plant material that has like those type of like organic shapes is so much fun, especially once you get used to drawing those cylinders. So play around, have fun with it. Remember to have tons of fun with it. Explore what you can come up with. Draw some magical trees in your sketchbook, or maybe like tons of roots, and play around and see what you can come up with. The more you play with these ideas, the more they will stick in your mind, the better you will become as an artist, right? The more fun you have with the drawing exercises, the faster you will improve. So always try to find ways to develop your interest in it. Find ways for you to get more invested in it. I know what works for me, so like some of these ideas might not work for you, but you can find a way to make yourself more excited about these drawing exercises. You do not have to do drawing exercises that are super boring. You can find ways to develop your focus, to develop your interest and curiosity for it. Just sit back, be mindful of the fact that you are in control. This is your drawing practice. We do not want to turn the art into a chore, so find ways to have fun with it. For me, drawing roots is super fun. Maybe drawing pipes or something else is more interesting to you. Figure out what's more fun for you and then play around with that. And then I'll see you in the next exercise. To fully solidify everything that we learned, let's draw this log buddy character. So we have 5 cylinders combined together to create this character. It's basically one log for the main part of the body where the face sits on it. And then we have 2 cylinders for the legs, 2 cylinders for the arms. It's basically just a lot of branching cylinders coming off this character. Drawing a facial expression on it, have a lot of fun with the facial expressions, and then like give it a cute little pose, like see what you can come up with. You can play around with this a ton, right? Especially because it's a log character, you don't have to worry about it looking realistic. I think that's a big part of why this is so much fun. Play around with the proportions. So even here on this example worksheet, you can see how I played around with the proportions and really messed around with it and like had a lot of fun. So make sure that you come up with some of your own, see how wide you can make them, see how long you can make them, maybe give them more limbs than 4, right? You can give them many limbs if you want to. Whatever is fun for you, play around with this idea because I think there's tons of fun to be had here. Also play around with the facial expressions and see like how enjoyable can you make this exercise, because I do think that this helps solidify this learning. So have tons of fun with this. If you want this worksheet right here for free and also a real-time video lesson, check out the link below where you can have this worksheet for free because I really want to share this lesson with you guys because it's so much fun. And also have a real-time video where I'll draw with you and explain some of the concepts. So come draw with me, check out that link below. If you want the rest of the worksheets that you saw in this video and also tons more beginner drawing exercises, check out the Beginners Toolkit over on the website. That's part of the Fundamentals bundle. I'm adding tons and tons of exercises to that where you get worksheets and real-time videos explaining what we're doing. If you like that type of learning, check that out. I really like trying to develop that side of things because it's so much fun. I do think that learning how to draw as a beginner can be so satisfying and so much fun. It can also be quite quick if you do the right exercises. If you take things one step at a time, you can develop your understanding fairly rapidly, especially if you are able to lean into some of the discomfort, some of like the learning process. So I'm working on really adding more to that course, so check out that below. As the bundle grows with more drawing exercises, the price will increase over time. So make sure to grab it now while it's as cheap as possible. And if you want more free drawing exercises, check out this video right here. This is especially useful for artists who are fairly new and haven't been used to drawing planes in space. If you are struggling to draw boxes, for example, learning how to draw these basic planes can be very helpful. So check out this lesson right here. It will help you improve rapidly. And I'll see you in the next lesson when you are ready. Bye.